Hello my dear children, once again welcome to our physics class. In the previous session we had discussed about Wheatstone's bridge and meter bridge. Today let's talk about another circuit diagram of this chapter, that is potentiometer. So what do you mean by potentiometer and why do we need to use this potentiometer? Children, potentiometer is not a device, it is a circuit. And what is its use? We have two uses. First one is that potentiometer helps to find out the actual EMF of a cell. And second one is that it helps to find out the internal resistance of a cell. Okay, so potentiometer helps to find out the actual EMF of a cell and also it helps to find out the internal resistance of a cell. Now, this voltmeter also measures the potential difference. Then why do we need to use this heavy circuit to measure the EMF or potential difference in a circuit? Okay, let me explain that. Consider a circuit like this. Here the resistor has 5 ohm. Okay, 5 ohm is the resistance. Suppose 2 ampere current flows through this 5 ohm resistor. So what is the potential drop across this resistor? By Ohm's law, we know the potential drop is V equal to IR, that is 2 into 5, 10 volt. Okay. Now, this is the actual value of potential drop across this resistor if 2 ampere current flows through it. This is the theoretical value. Now, if we connect a voltmeter across this resistor, we expect this voltmeter should also measure the same, 10 volt. But what happens that if voltmeter is connected across this resistor, from 2 ampere, nearly 0.5 ampere current flows through this voltmeter and only remaining 1.5 ampere current flows through this resistor 5 ohm. So now what is the potential drop? After voltmeter is connected, what is the potential drop? It is 1.5 into 5. So now the potential drop is 1.5 into 5, that is nearly 7.5 volt. So see the difference. This is the actual value of potential difference or drop across this resistor. But when a voltmeter is connected, it could measure only 7.5 volt. So there is a change. Voltmeter cannot find out or measure the actual EMF in a circuit. So for that purpose, we need to use a potentiometer circuit. So let's explain the principle. So let's discuss about the principle and also the construction of this potentiometer circuit. So as shown in the figure, this potentiometer circuit consists of a long wooden board. And on the wooden board, a 10 meter long wire is fixed. See, it's a very long wire. Length of the potentiometer wire is 10 meter. And this 10 meter wire is arranged as 10 parallel strips like this. And the length of each strip will be 1 meter. Okay, so the 10 meter long wire is arranged as parallel strips of length 1 meter each. So we have 10 such strips on the wooden board. Now from the point A, or the point A is connected to the battery, key and rheostat in a series manner, and also from the rheostat connection goes to the point B. Okay, so these are the two terminals of the potentiometer board. And here we are not finding out, or we are not supposed to find out the EMF of this cell. This is not that cell. This is just an auxiliary battery which helps to maintain a constant flow of current through the potentiometer wire. Okay, the cell whose EMF we need to measure must be connected in another way that we will discuss in the coming session. Okay children. So what are the important parts of a potentiometer circuit? It consists of a long wire of length 10 meter which is arranged as 1 meter length of parallel pieces, and 10 such parallel pieces are can be observed on a potentiometer board, and this is the primary circuit of the potentiometer. Now, what is the material of this wire? So this wire, the potentiometer wire, is made of an alloy. So which is that alloy? It can be constantan or manganese. Okay, these two materials are usually preferred as potentiometer wire. Also for meter bridge, on the meter bridge we have seen one wire, and length of that meter bridge wire was 1 meter. Length of the potentiometer wire is 10 meter. Okay, and both the wires are made of alloy. Here the potentiometer wire is made of an alloy and the material is constantan or manganese. So why do we use such an alloy? Because we had already studied about the temperature coefficient of resistance. Okay, so when for alloys the temperature coefficient of resistivity is very less. It is negligible. That means the temperature variations doesn't affect the resistivity of that wire. So the resistance of this wire or the resistivity of this wire is not affected by the temperature fluctuations. So that's why we use an alloy. It has high resistivity and it has negligible temperature coefficient of resistance. Okay, children. Let's discuss about the principle of the potentiometer. So for that we are using the Ohm's law expression. We know the voltage across a conductor will be equal to I into R, right? And we already know the expression for R, that is rho L by A. So substitute that expression here. So we will get I into rho into L by A. Now just look at these three terms. All these three terms will be constant. It will be constant because this battery supplies a steady current to the circuit, a constant current. Rho, material of the wire will not change. From A to B, material of the wire remains the same. Then A, area of cross section. The wire is of uniform area of cross section. So that A is not going to change. So I, rho and A are constant terms. Then we can write V equal to, instead of these constants we can substitute a common constant, that is K into L. So V equal to a constant into L, or we can say V is proportional to L. That is the potential drop across any 2 points of the potentiometer wire is directly proportional to length of the wire between that 2 points. Okay, and this constant K is known as potential gradient. Constant K is known as potential gradient. And from this expression, what is K? K is equal to V by L. Okay, and what is the unit for K? Unit is volt per meter. Potential drop per unit length of the potentiometer wire. That is potential gradient. Okay, that is unit is volt per meter. So this is the principle of potentiometer. The potential drop across any 2 points of the potentiometer wire will be proportional to length of that wire between those 2 points. For example, consider 2 points A and C here. And we need to find out the potential drop across A and C. So what is the principle? The potential drop across A, C will be proportional to length of the wire from A to C. Okay, suppose we need to find out the potential drop between these 2 points C and D. So the potential drop across CD will be proportional to length of the wire from C to D. So this is the principle of our potentiometer.